Hey YouTube, Matches 860 indoors today because it's brutally humid out, and I got my assistant with me, and we're going to show you the Chris Morgan Briar Cigar. Summer just loves this thing. Loves everything about it. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got it filled with Old Joe Krantz. And I filled it from a 1-pound bag, and it was pretty easy just to plow the tobacco into the chamber, tamp it down, and we'll fire it up. And I have to say, the first thing that threw me when I saw this advertised or talked about was I thought, you know, these pipes burn from top down. How's this supposed to work? Then I felt pretty stupid because cigarettes and cigars burn sideways, so no big deal. The one thing that Astroman 2112 mentioned was you have to make sure that you don't put the pipe downwards, because you might lose some of your ash all over your table. What I found is even harder to get used to for me is when I'm smoking it, if I lose track of what I'm doing, I go looking for the wall, which isn't there. And I've also done that with real cigars, and that really hurts. But it really does smoke very nicely. Drier, certainly, than a regular pipe. And it is cooler, I have to say. The one thing I wonder about is how come the casing doesn't get real hot. You can see how thin the walls are, and yet it doesn't get any hotter than a regular pipe bowl. And very easy to relight once it goes out, if it does on you. And it's amazing how much goes into something like this. Any of you that have made pipes have had to have some knowledge of the aerodynamic engineering that's involved. And it's no different with this, except probably more complicated. I'd love to have Chris here to explain exactly what the design is that makes this smoke easy and smoke so well. It's not just drilling out the chamber and then drilling an air hole. There's a lot more to it. The other nice thing about this, you can rotate the cigar pipe, if you happen to get a hot spot when you light it. You know, even with a pipe, sometimes you'll have one spot that's burning really well, and you have to kind of move the ash around with a pipe. But with this, you can just rotate it a little bit, get it to burn a little better. I'm really looking forward to using this at work because I can load it up in the morning, put the cap on it and carry it around. And if I go out on break and I happen to get called in, as I quite often do, I can just put the cap back on, put it in my pocket, and relight it later. And I've had more than one instance where I've gotten called back inside. I put a lit pipe in my pocket and I end up smoldering. Ruined a couple of shirts that way. The first smoke I had with this was amazing, in that I lost total track that it wasn't a cigar, and I was just puffing away having a blast on the computer, and realized there's a cool factor involved with this, thinking that you're smoking a cigar when you're really smoking your pipe tobacco. And I like a cigar now and then, as I've mentioned before, but I don't like the smell that it leaves in the house, so I never smoke a cigar in the house. Got the best of both worlds now. So, definitely love my Chris Morgan cigar pipe, and if you haven't gotten a chance to meet Chris, stop by his website, chrismorganpipes.com. Look him up on Facebook, Chris Morgan Pipes, or Morgan Pipes, I believe. And Morgan Pipes on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check all that out and put it down in the bucket for you. Chris is a great guy to get to know. And if you're lucky, you might catch him on Skype talking to some of the other pipe makers. That's a real treat. So that's the review. Thanks an awful lot for watching.